now I'm going to start taking some of the lighter green for argument's sake, and I'm just going to sort of randomly put a few little marks for indicating maybe some of the other little leaves and stuff in the background, sort of just touching it, as it were. Some of it must go also behind the bird, so you need to don't leave a halo. Some of those must go sort of behind. Some little ones this side. Don't keep the stripes all in the marks all in the same angle, as it were, because leaves are going every which way. Just adding a few little marks, and it'll come with some darker ones a bit later. Just some coming from behind. Some behind this leaf as well too. Some are sort of in the area of the blue sky. You can put a few up in there as well. Go down a bit further. Just very random marks. Give you that sort of out of focus leaves, as it were. Also right down to the edge. Now I'm going to take some darker green in some places, and you're going to, against the lighter areas, you're going to have some of these darker green leaves, a little bit of a patch, and put some in that area. Don't overdo it. Just a few, in where the sky is. You got some of those leaves sort of shining through there. Now we'll take a bit of almost like a orangey yellow, and I'm going to also start just putting a few little touches in, especially around here where the blue sky is. You've got some sun. I'm going to just jump around a little bit here. So some goes behind. Just a few little ones down here. I think I'm jumping around here a bit. Nolan with a camera. Just a few, especially around here where the sun is. Around, and a few down here. So let's warm this area up a little bit here. I'm just putting it flat at this stage, and sort of just running a few little, go over that leaf a little bit, behind. There's a few little, warm up the little area up top here.
My Linda's asking, does the blue tack not leave a film on the...
No, because it's so dusty that there's more dust than the blue tack is going to take up the dust so much that in actual fact what's happening is that where's this blue tack? You can see across here that it's picked up all the dust, and that is virtually dust against dust. What I'm doing is here is I'm not trying to as soon as you start using it, the blue tack picks up all the dust. All I'm doing is it's a nice replacement for the finger.
And how do you clean that blue tack?
Just do that, and you're back to some clean. And what happens is if you do, that's what I had here just now, a little while ago, you can always if you're busy, just take most of your color off in there, and then you can go along. So all you want to do is you just don't want to transfer some of the a darker color that you've been using, for argument's sake, into a lighter area, or a foreign color into the area that you would. So just give it a bit of, it doesn't matter if it looks dirty. Fingers have also got that little bit, so often what you do is you just give it a wipe, and that. And so in other words, now you can come and work in without too much of a color mix. So
What type of paper are you using?
I'm using Ingress pastel paper, but it doesn't matter. You can use your watercolor paper. You can use any other pastel paper that you've got. Some people, when they practice, what they do is they practice on newspaper. They just put it flat down, put a newspaper, cover it up, and paste on there if you're practicing. So you don't, if you're practicing, why waste expensive paper just for practicing? You see, it's the paper needs to just have a little bit of tooth to it, to grip the pastel dust. That's all that is necessary. You can use any other paper. I'm going to show you another little thing in a short while's time, how you can make your own pastel paper, as it were, and use it instead of buying a lot of expensive paper. So I've got a few little tricks up, but I don't want to I want to make you curious. You've got to come back next episode. Cereal. Yes, when I was at school we had a cereal called the Green Archer, and it was a matinee in the afternoons, and we had to we couldn't wait for the next episode, that Saturday afternoon, the matinee. Okay, now I've got some I want a little bit more of another color this time. I want a bit of some of the brighter green, and I'm going to put a few little touches, not too much. In some places I can give it almost that it looks like some leaves. If no one can just zoom into this little area a bit. So yeah, closer I'm going to just a few little marks like that to give you, it just makes you look like there's some leaves, and from there I'm going to carry that past on the other side, so there's like a twig coming across. I wasn't going to go into so much detail, but anyway, so that little twig will sort of just come past, just adds a little bit of interest to it. So there's some few little ones. I'm not going to put any here, the twigs are more on that side, so let's perhaps put a few little up the top end here. Not on the other side, just a few in here. So we'll go past. Okay, I'm not going to do any more than that. Alright, now I'm going to take this nice yellowy sort of, let me just see what I'm doing. I've got all that on there, so I've got a little tissue, and all I do is I can just give it a rub like that, and I bring it back to its pristine, so I don't transfer any color. So I got there, so now let's put this one leaf. So I'm going to come across here and bring that one leaf in there over the top. It doesn't have to be in exactly the same position as the other one. I'm going to take a lighter color to give you the contrast and some light that's coming across. And there's that corner of the leaf. I'm going to add a little touch of darker green, ever so slightly. hardly see it, just a little thing. And then I'm going to take a reddy brown and very lightly just give that spine of the leaf a little touch. And then very lightly on this side here, it's like an autumn leaf. Alright, let's make it a bit darker. Let's put a little shadow down here, just to lift it up from the other leaf. There you got that. And then I'm going to that, and then I'm going to get a darker brown. Let me do this with some, yeah, where's the dark brown? Here. And I'm going to do that, and let's put another little piece of a twig out there coming off this one. Marry that a little bit into there. Oops. A bit too far out. But now let's use that blue tack. Take that, and I'm going to just rub some of that green in there, take that color away. There we go. And I think while we're doing that here, let's add the branch in. So I'm going to take the bottom of this branch, it actually comes in at an angle, and goes in there like that. Goes, take it slightly past the thing. And I'm not trying to smooth everything in. It is a branch. I want the rough of the paper to give me those little bits of a sparkle across there. So I see here, I need to take some of that green a little bit into this area. So this works lovely. Usually difficult to get your finger inside there. You got that nice. Look at that. In there. So now I'm going to take some more of this lighter color, which is the highlight on the top, and I'm going to run that up the top here. Top of that one. Let me do that. And a bit up here. Then I'm going to give some of this in a bit of a circular, giving that branch is going away. Show that it's got some nice markings on it. Just touch that a bit there. So maybe you got some of the branch. But now I'm going to take a bit of a lighter color and just give it a bit of a, not just all over the same place, just in a few odd places. Coming in now, let's do the other side. Take that and we'll run this out that way. I'll go down a little bit. I don't want that halo like a white line there, that white underside there must disappear. Doesn't matter even if I have to make the branch a little bit thicker. Let's get that out. Then we need some more of this other color in here. And bring some of it down. lighter colour on the top of that one. And just add some little markings on. Right, so there we have a branch, and while we're busy with that one, so here's another leaf out the top here, so let's take this colour, and we're going to bring that leaf in. Doesn't matter, we can incorporate that, let's make that leaf a little bit bigger. Bring that in. Very light, just running a hint of a green in there, not too much, just that little bit, and then I'm going to take a bit of a raw sienna, and I'm going to put that spine in very lightly, the scent, just to give me the feeling of that. The leaf with a few little marks on there. Then I'm going to take a very lighter one. You just clean that a bit here. Clean that, and then I'm going to just on the edges put a bit of a highlight, and then put that point out, just flick it out a little bit. Okay, so we've got another leaf, but let's take the darker brown again, and let's add a little twig out here, coming out. Maybe another little one coming out here. And let's put another one coming out the side here. And what I'm doing is I'm pointing it inwards. A little twig. The reason for that is, you see these are inwards, that's inwards, and that's inwards. And what I'm doing is I'm keeping the eye into the picture. So in other words, I'm not pointing, if these were done and pointing out, your eye tends to go out the picture. So these are tiny little, odd little things that you put in where the viewer will subconsciously keep your eye into the picture and not run the eye out. So some of these things that you put in can sort of induce the viewer to eye to go out the picture, and then they have to keep on going out and coming in, out and coming in, instead of keeping it running around in the picture itself. So we got one more little to do. So let's make this one a nice bright one. It's in the darker area. We'll add a bit of darker into it. Bring that little nice point. Tip of the leaf. Okay, so I'm going to use it a little touch of this other color. That's a little bit too light, so let's get. I've got the yellow, like a yellow ochre this time, and I'm going to let's put that in there. And sometimes the leaf is cupped like this. So what happens is the one side is catching light and the other side is catching dark. It isn't catching dark, it is catching dark, but catching the shadow. So let's put that here. the light is coming from this side, and let's say this one here is going to catch, it's curled, and this one's catching the shadow, so we make that one a little bit darker in there. Right, let's get the lighter brown first. I'm going to put some marks inside. Just some suggestion, that's all. Not too much. And then we have the twig. Let's line up with that one. All right, what's been missing on these ones here? Now's a bit of a highlight. So I'm going to take this, clean that up, get a nice little sharp edge. There we go. Got a nice little sharp edge here. Light's coming from the right down this way. So that's under the thing. So let's put a little bit of a highlight here. We have a bit of a highlight on that side, maybe a bit there. This one catching a bit here and there. I think it can actually make it even a little bit more orangey. Brighten it up a little bit. That's a bit better. There we go. Right, so I think we're almost ready now to start the bird. I'll just take a quick sip on a cup of coffee that Nolan brought me, so nice and kindly. Here we go. Now I'm ready. Right, top to the bottom. Now let's start. First we start right up at the, and what I like to do, I always like to start with the eye first. So, we saw from the other picture there that eye is sort of like a reddy brown, so I'm going to take a bit of little red, and I'm going to use this right little corner. So, I'm going to work from the center outwards. Much easier than trying to work from the outwards into it, because at the moment I'm teaching you to do these things without pencils. Later on in the course we'll be going to pencils, and then we can really get into some nice detail work. So at the moment I'm going to maybe get my head in the road here. I just want to check what I'm doing. That, and I'm going to put a little touch of brown, not brown, but this like a burnt sienna, just a little touch into it, just to tone it down ever so slightly. There we go. Now I'm going to take the black. Where is it here? And I'm also going to find a nice corner. If you haven't got a nice little corner, what you can do is come along and just maybe touch it with a knife or something, just to get that little tip. So I'm going to get under the camera here so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. I want to add a little bit of a highlight to the eye, but I'm going to use the white first. On the underside of the eye, it's got that transparent bit in the top. In other words, the cornea and that. And there's a little bit of the sunshine sort of coming through just underneath that. So I'm just going to a little touch of a hint of a lighter color there. You can't see it too much at the moment. And then I'm going to put a little touch of a touch of white, and have this as, alright, let me try this other one. It's not quite as soft as the other white. Light's coming from this side, down this side, so the highlight will be on that side here. Now I need my softer white. There we go. And around it we have first a little bit of black, and then a little touch of white, slightly some of it. This is a little bit delicate work here, so let's